Karen Ellis thought she was doing her civic duty when she dialed 911 on a black teenager she deemed suspicious in her upscale neighborhood park. Little did she know, the boy was simply waiting for his ride after basketball practice, and the woman who arrived wasn't just any angry parent. She was Angela Hayes, the newly appointed chief of the FBI's Atlanta field office. What unfolded next left Ellis and responding officers reeling, exposing deep-rooted biases and sparking a nationwide conversation on racial profiling. Angela Hayes had always been a trailblazer. Born in 1975 in Atlanta, Georgia, she grew up in a working-class family where her father was a postal worker and her mother a nurse. From a young age, Angela showed a keen interest in justice, inspired by the civil rights movement stories her grandparents shared. She attended Spelman College, majoring in political science, and then earned her law degree from Howard University. Joining the FBI in 2001, right after September 11th, Angela started as a special agent in counterterrorism. Her sharp analytical skills and dedication led to rapid promotions. By 2015, she was leading major investigations, and in 2023, she became the first black woman to head the Atlanta field office, overseeing hundreds of agents and critical operations across the Southeast. Angela's son, Jordan Hayes, was 16 in 2024. A straight-A student at a local high school, Jordan loved basketball and dreamed of playing in college. He was polite, well-mannered, and involved in community service, often volunteering at food banks. Despite his mother's high-profile position, Angela made sure Jordan lived a normal life, away from the spotlight. She drove him to practices in her unmarked SUV, and they lived in a quiet suburb outside Atlanta. Jordan knew about his mother's job, but understood the need for discretion. On that fateful afternoon, in May 2024, Jordan finished basketball practice at the neighborhood park. The park was in an affluent area, mostly white, but open to the public. Jordan, wearing his team jersey and shorts, sat on a bench scrolling through his phone while waiting for Angela to pick him up. She was running late due to a meeting, so Jordan texted her he'd wait. Karen Ellis, a 52-year-old resident living nearby, was walking her dog when she spotted Jordan. Ellis, a real estate agent, had lived in the neighborhood for 20 years and prided herself on keeping it safe. She had a history of calling the police on people she found out of place: delivery drivers, joggers, anyone who didn't fit her idea of who belonged. Seeing Jordan, a black teen in a predominantly white area, triggered her suspicions. She approached him, asking what he was doing there. Jordan politely explained he was waiting for his mom after practice. Ellis wasn't satisfied. She demanded a CID, which Jordan, being a minor, didn't carry. When he refused to leave, Ellis pulled out her phone and called 911. "There's a suspicious black male loitering in the park," she reported. "He looks like he might be up to no good." The dispatcher sent 2 officers, Patrolman David Reeves and Officer Maria Lopez, to investigate. Reeves and Lopez arrived within minutes. They approached Jordan, who stood up respectfully. Reeves asked for his name and what he was doing. Jordan repeated his explanation, adding that his mother was on her way. Ellis stood nearby, arms crossed, insisting Jordan was lying. The officers, influenced by Ellis's demeanor, asked Jordan to empty his pockets and patted him down. Jordan complied, but asked why he was being treated this way. Reeves responded that they had a report of suspicious activity. Just then, Angela's SUV pulled up. She stepped out, dressed in a business suit, her FBI badge clipped to her belt. Angela was 5'10", with a commanding presence honed from years in law enforcement. She approached the group, her expression calm but firm. "What's going on here?" she asked. Ellis turned, expecting an ally, but her face fell when she saw Angela. The officers glanced at her badge, their eyes widening. Reeves stammered, "Ma'am, we received a call about a suspicious person." Angela identified herself fully. "I'm Angela Hayes, chief of the FBI Atlanta field office. This is my son, Jordan." She showed her credentials. Lopez radioed it in, confirming her identity. Ellis backed away, mumbling apologies, but Angela wasn't having it. She questioned Ellis directly. "What made my son suspicious? Was it his clothes, his activity, or his skin color?" Ellis stuttered, claiming she was just concerned for safety. The officers, now embarrassed, explained the call. Angela requested the body cam footage and the 9/11 recording, which she knew she could access through official channels. She lectured them on racial profiling, citing statistics from FBI reports on biased policing. The incident didn't end there. Angela filed a formal complaint against Ellis for making a false report and against the officers for their handling. The story leaked to the media when a bystander video surfaced, showing Ellis's call and the officers' actions. National outlets picked it up, highlighting the irony of the FBI chief's son being profiled. Ellis faced backlash. Her real estate business suffered as clients distanced themselves. She issued a public apology, admitting her bias and committing to anti-racism training. The police department reviewed the case, leading to mandatory bias training for all officers. Reeves and Lopez received reprimands, but kept their jobs after apologies and retraining. Angela used the experience to advocate for change. She spoke at conferences, sharing the story to illustrate how profiling affects even those in power. Jordan, initially shaken, became an activist, starting a youth group at his school to discuss race and justice. The event sparked broader reforms in Atlanta's suburbs, including community policing initiatives and civilian review boards. Angela's leadership in the FBI continued, with renewed focus on civil rights investigations. The Hayes family grew closer, turning a negative experience into a catalyst for positive change. Years later, in 2025, Angela reflected on the incident in an interview. She emphasized that no one, regardless of status, should face discrimination. Ellis, having learned her lesson, volunteered with organizations fighting racism. Jordan, now in college, pursued criminal justice, inspired by his mother's example. This story underscored a harsh reality. Bias persists, but confrontation and education can drive progress. Angela Hayes remained a beacon of integrity, proving that authority, when wielded justly, can transform society.